The degree to which you believe you will be successful is directly correlated with how successful you'll be. Let me explain, let me break this down why. So in the Bible, there's a verse, I'm not going to quote it directly, so there's going to be like kind of a off the dome, but it basically says something along the lines of, if you believe what you ask for in prayer, it'll be given to you. All right, it says something along those lines. And so think of this, like you think of a real life example of this. If you're trying to start a business, and if you don't believe it's really even going to work for you, like I'm just not a business person. I don't have the skills. I don't have the connections. I need money to start a business. I don't have money. Whatever it is, the beliefs that come into your head of why you're not going to succeed. If you believe that, what's going to happen? Like literally just go down the line of the next steps. The belief is the first principle. What happens next? Well, if you have this belief around, oh, I'm not going to be successful because of X, Y, Z, you're not going to start the business. Like, why would you? There's no point in doing so. You see, your brain is extremely intelligent, it's a supercomputer. And so if you perceive something to be pointless, of, hey, like, why would I put in the work if it's not going to work? If you believe that, there's zero probability you're going to do the work, because it literally makes no sense. It's like, I personally, I don't believe I can fly. And so I'm not going to attempt to fly or like jump off my roof and try and fly. I perceive that as pointless because I can't fly, and also it's quite dangerous. But with that said, I'm not even gonna try to do that. Like there's 0% chance I'm gonna try because of the beliefs I have. All right, same thing applies. All right, if you don't believe, you're not gonna put in the work, therefore you're not gonna get the outcome. All right, so faith is literally step one to whatever the goal is that you want. You have to believe it's possible. You have to believe you can do it. And the degree to which you believe, or how much you believe, is directly correlated with how much action you're going to take, and therefore how much results you're going to get. On the flip side, like if we compare from like 0 belief to 100% belief, if I 100% believe, hey, this business will work, what I'm working towards will work, as long as I put in the work, I keep learning, I keep going. If that's my belief, I'm gonna put in the work. Or if you have, that's my daughter in the background, by the way, if you hear her. But I know. But if, like, so for example, if you 100% believe starting the business, you're going to become a millionaire, achieve X, Y, Z, have time freedom, spend time with your family, travel, whatever your goals, motivations are, if you believe that, you're gonna put in the work. It's just like the next step. She's playing one of her books right now. It's literally the next step. If you believe you're going to put in the work, when you put in the work, with time, you're going to get results. And it's a reinforcing loop. So what happens is you put in the work, you see your first ounce of results, that reinforces the original belief and actually makes it stronger. All right, so that's why like one of the most critical points for someone like starting a business, for example, is getting the first client, is making their first dollar online. Because then the belief skyrockets. Even if you had strong belief before, it gets monumentally stronger. I remember for me when I first signed like my first quote unquote high ticket client, it was $997. I didn't know if this was possible. I'm like, God, I think other people are doing it, so I think it's possible. Here, let me turn this off real quick. I think it's possible, but I'm not 100% sure. And so I signed this client, $997, boom, to the Stripe account. And I remember, driving in my Honda Accord at the time, like 2004 Honda Accord. And I was so excited. I was blasting music. I was like, oh my gosh, like it's really possible. Like I can really do this. I can really make this thing happen and achieve. Like my belief skyrocketed in that moment because of this tangible result. It was this feedback loop. And so same thing happens. Also, this can also happen to the downside. So if you have these negative beliefs of, for this reason, I'm not going to be successful, for this reason, it won't work, it's not meant for me, whatever it is, if you experience a bad thing where, let's say you launch an ad, you spend $5 on it, and you don't sign a client, your mind, you can perceive that as evidence it won't work. She's super excited about this. I told her about it, she loved the video idea and everything. But it's a feedback loop. All right, your mind, it's like Google search. Or if you're searching for evidence, Your mind is basically searching for evidence subconsciously to confirm your existing beliefs. So it's very important you audit your current beliefs. You have ones actually support you towards your goals. Therefore, your mind can look towards evidence that reconfirm positive beliefs. But you got to have the base, you got to have the foundation set. All right. So if you're watching this and you're like, you're trying to take the big leap, you're trying to start the business on the side or do whatever, or go all in on the business, whatever it is, sometimes you just got to have faith. Like sometimes you just have to start with a foundation of, man, I don't 100% know, but I have faith this is possible. I have faith this could happen. You got to start there. You got to start somewhere. And the way I look at it as well, like anything like that, like I try to look at the frame of like, hey, when I'm 80 years old, I'm looking back on my life, what's the route that I wouldn't regret? All right, would I regret staying in the comfortable path, just keep doing what I'm doing, or would I regret actually taking this leap, going all in on what I believe is my purpose, my God-given purpose on this earth? Like, what am I going to regret? Even if I take the shot, even if I take the leap and I, quote unquote, fail miserably, but I'm 80 years old, I would rather do that and know, hey, I did try. I gave it a good try, gave it, all I could, and it didn't work out. But if you don't, you'll just never know. That sounds painful to me. I do not want to be 80 years old looking back and thinking, what if I did that? You can't live like that. What do you think? You're not even 1 year old yet, are you? But I think that's the video for today. So, moral of the story, your beliefs directly correlate with your results. And the reason is because it goes beliefs, actions, reality. That's the basically the loop, or the 3 steps, whatever you want to call it. But you have to believe if you want to succeed. You have to believe if you want the result. If you don't, you're not going to take the actions. So if anything, if you're struggling with belief, if you have some doubts, try your very best. Have faith. Have enough faith. Research other people who are winning. Surround yourself with winning energy. Look online. Find all the people who are successful in XYZ area you want to be successful in. Brainwash yourself to believe. All right, so that's the video. If you do want my one-on-one help to actually install my systems to get clients for your business and help you launch and grow, go to click the link below and I'll see you there. All right, have a blessed day.